Happy Halloween! And today, keeping in theme, we're taking a look at an old Microprose favourite I used to play. F-117 Stealth Fighter is a rather unique stealth action game which had a remarkably wide range of missions, from photo recon to stealth supply drops and strike missions. It was also my first exposure to permadeath mechanics in a game. There are two modes of play: the realistic Lockheed mode, which makes our aircraft more stealthy but limits our weapon selection heavily with no air-to-air missiles, and the more action-orientated Microprose mode with the air-to-air missiles and extra weapons, at the expense of being more easily detected. We're heading off into Libya with the Lockheed version today. So let's take a look at our mission briefing. So we are departing from Suda Bay at 20 to 7. We're going to be hitting Maradar, a camp, and a tank farm. And then we're heading back home where we started. Now, it's not quite as simple as flying A to B. We've got a whole bunch of radars to worry about if I show them all. So the solid circles represent a pulse Doppler radar. We have to notch those, or in other words fly parallel, so around them, to avoid detection. Whilst the dotted circles represent a pulse radar, so in order to avoid detection from them I need to fly directly at them or away from them. So I could fly, say, between these two and probably make it past that pulse, being far enough away hopefully. So we'll fly around through there, and then we'll come back, fly along this radial, and when we get to the edge we'll fly directly at this pulse radar, then we'll fly directly at this pulse radar, and then probably the easiest way to get home will be to fly back the way we came, provided there aren't too many fighters out here, because there are some. Yeah, there's an airbase there, and out here we've got a whole bunch of pulse Doppler radars which will be able to catch us as soon as we leave the target, so I don't really see a route out. We could try and fly away from the secondary target to the north and then fly at this corridor here, but I don't know, that's going to be a little tight. Then we're flying over the USS America, a carrier, and then on to home. Or we could fly back the way we came, which, depending on how the fighters pan out on this mission, we might go either way. We'll just have to see how it goes. With a bit of luck though, we won't be detected at all, so let's go over and check the weapons now. So we're flying with the realistic F-117, and I'm going to bring extra fuel for this mission so we can afford to fly a bit faster to get away from fighters if they bother us. And we're going to take a pair of GBU-12s, laser guided bombs, as we have two targets and we have two bombs. Don't have anything spare, but that should be good enough. Alright, let's go out to the hangar then and get started. Are we ready for the mission? Yes we are. Alright, up on the runway, and we're going to kick up the throttle with the plus and minus keys and start our takeoff. See our aircraft rolling to the side camera and rotate, gear up, and back in the cockpit. So let's open up our map, and you can see here our waypoints. So remember, we're going to fly, unfortunately not following the waypoints, so if I switch up, so there we go, and we want the first waypoint, we're going to move the first waypoint over to here, which is roughly the path we were expecting, I think. So down there, that's the pulse radar I'm most worried about. We've got to fly around that guy, so we'll fly around like that, down to target, and then across to here, and then probably back, judging by the fact the fighters are out in the bay at the moment. There was a ship marked on the briefing about here, which is not there anymore, so we're just going to assume he's not there at all for the moment, unless we pick up a radiation spike from him. So that would do for our waypoints for the moment. So we're just going to fly straight south. Let's ease off the power a bit, save some fuel. Now you can see these red dots on the map. They are of course aircraft. They may be friendly, may be hostile, and you just saw there a new dot appear in fact beneath us. That was the pulse radar for the ship that I was worried about. So anyway, those red dots are aircraft, friendly and hostile. The one just above us is going to be friendly. The black dots are ground radars, so the one in the sea just off to our left, that's going to be a ship with a radar. We've got a pulse radar in the middle, and we've got that Doppler radar just to our left, so we need to fly around that guy. So I'm actually done on the ILS. Going to move the waypoint to the left a bit. I can't see, I want it just between those 2 points. It's not quite getting there, so never mind. Now I'm going to switch over to tactical view, so you can see that blue icon is the ship, so I need to make a turn fairly promptly to avoid that guy. So let's explain how detection works. You can see there he just got highlighted red, indicating he is radiating. Just below the display we've got EGR and EAR, and a red bar that fills up when they radiate. So if that red bar ever meets the red bar at the end of that scale, you're being detected. That's your Electro something or other, I can't remember what it stands for, EMV. Now if I open my bay doors, for example, we become more detectable, so we need to make sure we're careful how we pose ourselves when weapons are coming out. As for example, if I roll, you can see the detectability goes up as well, because we've got a flat bottom. And that, of course, reflects the radar back at the radar station, making us more detectable. So we're good for the moment. You can see that radar off to our left is not picking up on us. We've got past him. No problem whatsoever. We've got 2 aircraft up to the top right of us. And I think it's probably about time we start turning south, so we're no longer flying away from that radar. Getting a bit close to being detected there. That's a bit better. So hopefully nobody will take off anytime soon. There is a pulse radar to the right where that runway icon is. A couple of squares, if I zoom in, just on the top right of the display there. So if we have to, we can fly directly at that, but I think we're far enough away he can't detect us. So we're going to carry on with our flight plan as is. I'm going to reuse that waypoint though. I'm going to shift it down here somewhere. Keep better reference. So this should be a fairly safe bit of the flight for the time being. We're just flying around the pulse Doppler radars. So I think you'll see me in a few once I get over there. So we're now approaching our primary target. We've got a radar off our nose, the pulse radar, but as long as we're flying toward or away from them they can't detect us. We're going to switch over to ground mode. I'm going to use up the extra fuel we have put into the tank, so transfer. And we're going to pick out the paveway bombs. You can see our target. In fact, no, that's not our target, that's the local radar. That's our target. So we are good so far, undetected. 33 kilometers to go. We have got it on our nose. And doesn't look too bad. We look on the picture, so there are some aircraft out to our north, but they're not bothering us. Just that radar on our nose we have to worry about. But being a pulse-only radar, it's not a huge threat. Closing in now on the target at 22 kilometers, so if I have a look, see. There we go, weapons. So we used our fuel, we got two paveways loaded up on the aircraft. Okay, and let's bring it back on the computer. That's the radar. That's our target. 10 kilometers, so we're almost 10 kilometers should be roughly the range we need, so almost there. Here we go. Got the lock indicator, so I'm going to go to the external view. And no, that one, this one will do better. So we'll open the bay, drop our bomb, so it goes off to our target. The refinery, if I remember correctly. And impact. Target destroyed by paveway at primary. We're going now to the next waypoint. Zoom that out, close the bay door. Come round to our secondary target. Now there is... Yep, that radar to worry about still. Okay, looks like we're still undetected. There are 2 fighters. You can see there's red dots off to the north of our plane icon, which is all of 4 pixels, and it's wonderful detail there. The aircraft are not a major threat. They're not inside the tactical range at the moment, so we should be good. So we're going to carry on now to our secondary target, and then we'll have to thread the needle and get back home. We are now approaching our second target, and if you have a look, we've actually got a fighter heading right toward us at the moment, the bottom right of our display. Can I zoom in now? He pops off. So on the right hand side he's flying directly at us and the target area. So we're going to have to hope we get away with this. He's getting a bit close for comfort, really. We are 25 kilometers. Let's bring up the targeting pod and air-to-ground mode. There's our tank farm, our secondary target. And let's turn up the sensitivity. Line ourselves up. Should be in range at about 10 kilometers if we're lucky. You see he is coming right at us at the moment. That's no good news. Got to be quick with this. Alright, 10 kilometers. In range. Open the bay doors. Drop the bomb. Close the bay doors. Now there's a radar right in front of us, so I'm going to keep that on my nose. Okay, now the bomb should hit any moment now. Keeping the laser going. This is target destroyed. Now there is a radar somewhere very close to us. About to fly over him. Then we're going to take it north. To try and avoid that fighter to our east. So we're flying over the radar now and turn north. I'm going to kick up the speed to full. We have to hope that fighter on our right there is out of time to reach us. You can see the bars there are getting a bit higher. They're what, 1/3, 40%. Looks like we'll be alright. I reckon we can clear that fighter's range before he reaches us, so he won't be able to detect us. We're also notching him quite effectively, so we should be alright. Now we need to start worrying about the pulse radars out here. So we've got one on that peninsula to the right. There should be one on our top left. Oh no, the fighter's turned around. He might be onto us. No, it's okay. He's turned away from us. Okay, I'm a little bit scared of that radar. It's not radiated yet, but just in case, we're going to turn to the left. See that ship to our left? We want to fly radial off him. Got another aircraft as well. It's starting to get a bit tight here. So we're just going to try and fly through these guys and not be detected. Yeah, so the other aircraft's turned around on his patrol. He's going back to where we just bombed. The one on the right of us is still going our way. He hopefully won't. And the ship to our left just radiated, and yeah, we're getting a bit close to these radars. This is what I meant by it was going to be tight getting through here. So we can see the bars are going crazy. Just got to hope they don't detect us. So far we're far enough away, but we've got to keep flying that radial. If I target to the left, which is M, there's the missile boat on our left that is painting us. Still not able to detect us, thankfully. Just these two guys to worry about. So we're not flying radial anymore. Let's go a bit further left. Should be good now. I think we're out of this clean. Nobody's detected us. 2 targets destroyed. Should be a perfect mission. Just gotta carry on creeping away. So we are now coming into land. I'm pretty hot given we're diving at the moment. We are 10 kilometers up, so I'm going to bring it to the left. You see our radar on the, our airbase on the right display. Trying to line it up for the landing and turn on the ILS. Bring it round. Increase the power, lower the gear. Put the brakes on. And line up the ILS. And if you can believe it, that in front of us, that blob, is the runway. And let's come into land. And we crashed. And that's what I get for putting it on realistic landings, in air quotes, realistic. So, as you probably spotted on the landing there, we went a little bit too fast as we touched down, so our aircraft automatically crashed. Which, well, probably shouldn't have happened, but never mind. So, that was F-117a in the Lockheed version, which is to say limited weapons. And next we're going to look at the Microprose version of the F-117, which gives us many more weapons and is a lot more arcade, although we're not as stealthy anymore. So I hope you'll join me next time for the Microprose mode of the F-117a Stealth Fighter 2. Take care.